The game you are playing is fine. It doesn't need any improvements. And in fact, you don't need any advice to run it. Anybody who is trying to get you to do anything different is just trying to sell a subscription to Welcome to Aftercrow, the RPG art show. My name is Kyle, and today we're talking about how everything that's happening in your game is probably fine, and you don't need my help. The video in the background is of an illustration I'm working on for my book, MONSTROUS, which will hit crowdfunding in September. Link in the description below to find out more information about that project, and also all the new cool stuff I put in the Aftercrow merch store. Recently, I tabled at Origins Game Festival in Columbus, Ohio, and I had an interesting conversation with someone who stopped by the booth. This gentleman was a delight to talk to and raised some kind of interesting points that sort of called a lot of what I do here into question. He mentioned some of my Building Better Monster videos, and he kind of said, like, what's wrong with bandits and goblins and dragons just the way they are? Why does everybody on the internet, whether it's on Reddit or YouTube or TikTok, why are they constantly suggesting that I'm doing it wrong and that there's a better way to do it and it happens to be their way? And in the pursuit of platform performance, I have always had this nagging feeling in the back of my mind. Is there a danger that I and other creators like me are giving viewers the impression that we think that they're stupid, or we think that they can't run a fun game without our help, or that we're smarter or better than them in some meaningful hierarchical way? That this constant alarm cry of the sky is falling in whatever various hobby space you are vlogging in isn't actually doing some long-term damage. That the real message that's being absorbed from all of these videos, from all of this content, isn't that GMs and players need something more, something extra than just the rules and some friends and some dice. And I think that's bogus. I think that is all you need. That's all I had in middle school when I got started. And then I started looking around the booth at all of these books that I was selling that are trying to get you to run games with my art. And I started to feel like I was trying to colonize people's imaginations with my images and my prep methods. And how at last it comes that people will give me attention freely. In place of a dark lord, you will set up a queen. And I shall not be dark, but beautiful and terrible as the morning and night, fair as the sea and the sun and the snow upon the mountain, dreadful as the storm and lightning, stronger than the foundations of the earth. All shall love me and despair. And then I took a breath and took comfort in one simple fact, that it has always been this way because it's meant to be. Because if this lovely hobby of ours is founded on anything, it's tinkering, altering, hacking, fine-tuning, rebalancing, reskinning, and sharing all of this unasked for amateur advice with as many people as you can through zines and articles and columns and shows and conversations, all conspiring to fix what ain't broke over and over again, because we like to feel the sting of creative sweat in our eyeballs and imaginative dirt under our nails. When I think of the foundation of this hobby, the image that springs to my mind is not this or this, it's this. Some flimsy, yellowed photocopy paper hand stapled together with tracings of Joe Kubert war comics art on the cover. And there, in tiny little typewriter letters, the top right of the page, some weirdo trying to convince other weirdos that while there's nothing wrong with your Napoleonic war game, wouldn't it be kind of cool to adapt those mechanics to tell stories about individuals instead of armies? And wouldn't it be cool if those individuals were dressed in chainmail and swinging battle axes at each other? In other words, tinkering. Fixing what ain't broke, mixing it up, and sharing it with people. And that's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown. Before all the edition wars and marketing campaigns and online corporate spendoscapes, this hobby was about tinkering. It's a folk art. It is mediated and animated by conversations, literally. So why wouldn't there be as many things to try out in your game as there are conversations to have and people to have them with? One of my favorite contemporary tinkerers, Professor Dungeon Master of the Dungeon Craft YouTube channel, is suggesting that the month of July is deemed Independent TTRPG Month, where creators and game masters and players give those folks in Seattle a break and try to spend some time celebrating the zinesters and tinkerers in our space, filling it with creativity and passion. If you enjoy dark fantasy like I do, maybe you'd like to check out the professor's own Deathbringer game, or maybe you would like to try a more narrative game like Trophy Dark by Jesse Ross. That's one of my favorites, and it's packed with amazing moody art by the author and Anna Z. Or maybe you feel like running a quick murder mystery like the Magonian Mind Murders by James Holloway. I'll have links to all of that in the description below, as well as links to my own projects like MONSTROUS, Old Roads, and the Agnostic TTRPG Prep Method. And whether it's my work or anyone else's, never check it out because you're afraid you're doing it wrong. Check it out because you want to see what the other tinkerers are up to. Until next time, my friends, farewell. Hey, welcome to the Aftercrow. Just want to say again, thank you to all my patrons who have been supporting me this whole time, and I really appreciated it because I had to kind of spend some time away from the drawing desk again because I caught the con crud at Origins. Overall, it was a wonderful show. I met plenty of wonderful people and had a wonderful time. That was my first time tabling with my zines at a game convention. That was really exciting for me. I will also be tabling in a way at Gen Con later on this summer in about exactly a month from today. So I will be there Thursday and Friday in a special makers area that they are trying out for the first time. I won't be on the regular con floor. I'll have more details as those become available and maps and everything. So stay tuned for that. But if you're going to Gen Con, I'm going to be there for the early part of it. I'm really looking forward to it. Other things I'm looking forward to this summer. I tell you what, Baldur's Gate 3 is due to come out around the same time as Gen Con, and I'm really looking forward to that. Not just because I am looking forward to playing it, and it looks like my favorite RPG ever, but also because, I actually did some storyboarding work during early access days several years ago. So seeing the final cinematics that I had a chance to storyboard for, mostly dialogue scenes, I'm really, really excited about that, and I'm hoping to make a video about some of what that process was like. I just need to make sure that I get approval from everybody first. So be looking forward to all of that goodness soon, and I'll see you next time.